Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel, Adulting with Novia, where I, Novia, try and get my life together using various planners and stationery supplies. And today we're going to be working on preparations for my migration for the 2023 bullet journal planner setup that I got going on. Now, I'm warning you that occasionally you may hear some wind or whistling. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very windy outside and nature is singing the song of its people, and I'm right by the window. So you may hear an occasional wind sounds. That's how that goes. So when it comes to my migration process, to me, it's a little bit more than thinking about spreads, although that is a major part of it, which is why I brought out all of the planners, all of the Stalogies that I've had for this year so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all half-year Stalogies that I've used for 1/4 of the year, except for the first quarter, which includes December, but I mean, whatevs. The other ones include 3 months, as you can tell. Why is September all the way down there? That's weird, but whatever. Anyway, so I have access to all 4 of them. I'm gonna be writing these notes inside of this quarter's Stalogy in the notes page in the back, and some of the note pages in the back. This little post-it, it's my notes for my migration prep, my migration prep process. Lord, that was a tongue twister for me for some reason. So that way I can actually try and stay on task and not ramble, because if you guys watch my videos, you know I am prone to rambling. So what I'm gonna do is first set up this little, like, all I do is just, you know, I opened up to a blank page and I just, you know, kind of label it. So we're just gonna call it migration. Nothing fancy. If you want, you can put prep. I just put migration. Where'd I put my lid? No, seriously, where'd the lid go? Oh, Lord. It's right here. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna hurt myself. Okay, so one of the first questions I do ask myself is why I choose, I guess, to bullet journal. Like, even though I technically don't follow all of the protocols for the bullet journaling method, like, why do I choose to do this? Like, it's important when you are moving into the next year in whatever planner system that you have. The migration doesn't necessarily restrict itself to the bullet journaling method. It applies to all planners. Like, why are you using the planner system that you're using, right? That's when I say, when I think about this migration process, it goes a bit beyond like spreads. So it's like, why do I use it? Why do I choose this, the tactic in which that I'm using it in order to plan? And simply, it's freedom. That's really it. I can make any spread that I want, however I want, and suit it towards my needs, versus buying an already made planner and kind of like trying to fit my thought processes and my creative input into it. I have a blank canvas every single time. It's a freedom of that. It's a freedom of creativity. It's a freedom of just enjoyment of the process. My brain can process, information how it needs to be and not be told how it needs to process information. That's really why I choose to do this. Now, there are certain things that you want to note when you want to think about when you're trying to migrate. And obviously you want to, and this I think follows more so in Writer Carol's method. It's just like you have a what worked, what didn't work, and I think he has a more of, and what line is this on, and less of, right? So worked, didn't, more of, less of. Now again, this is a bit more than your spreads. So like, or the type of spreads that I've used throughout the year, because there have been, you know, several different types of spreads that I've chosen over the years. And it's not even just about that. It's just one of the things, like, what worked? Like, overall, what has worked? When you think about something like that, you think about, like, your intentions, like the intention that you had in using your planner. So what I intended to use my planner for was something to help me keep me on track, help me remember important tasks, help me remember memories, you know, like help me plan for the future, help me stay on track to reach my main goal for the year. Like, that's the intention in which I approach planners, or particularly this method of planning that I choose. But also in those intention, it would be like, well, what worked? Did all the deco work? Or maybe I should go a bit minimal. To be fair, it's a toss-up, because I can choose decorative one month like I did for a few months, and then I can be totally minimal like I am pretty much right now. And it both works as long as I'm staying productive. So, like, goal tracking. So let's take a look real quick at how I try to track my goals, because when I sit there and say, does deco work? I mean, yeah, it does. It keeps me interested. It keeps me fun. It keeps it fun. It keeps me excited. So I can say that deco did work overall. Do I need an overabundance of deco? No, but the deco keeps it fun. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me wanting to come back to my planner when I want to do it. So anyway, let's think about how I'm tracking my goals. So technically, let's see. This is January's. Like, you guys never really started because I hopped back on here in April. But I'll show you March's. So in March, here, this is the monthly layout that I had, and it had top three goals that I want to, or was this memories? No, top 3 things that I wanted to accomplish that week. I don't know why Chinese food was an accomplishment that week, but it was to help me reach my goals. And the way that I chose to track my goals was kind of through a tending list. So this was my version of a tending list. I have encouraging words at the top, what my priority would be for the month, and then I have monthly action items, and then I have weekly action items to help me reach those monthly action items. And here you can color a progress bar, and I think I did a different color each week, so that's why that one's multicolored. And some of them I just did them all in one week. And then here I have like a tracker during the week, like marking which week I worked on what. So here is how I decided to track my goals. Now, I know this is kind of like a spread thing. Like, did goal tracking really help me overall? Like, I don't know, because I mean, I will say I completely fell off. Like, by June, it's pretty empty. I don't even think I did it in July. Let's see, did I do it in July? Like, I put one thing. So from March, we go from this super busy, like you can tell that I'm using this spread to barely anything on here. So probably not. I think the reason why that is, though, is for the simple fact that I don't think it's a fault of the spread of that itself. It's just the fact that I went from having multiple goals to hyper focusing on one. And that's typically how my brain works anyway. Like, I'm trying to figure out a goal planning system that works with my brain and how I go about living. Like, I can't multitask when it comes to goals. I can't do a whole bunch of different habits. My brain can't process like having to do this thing for this goal, this thing for this goal, this task for this one, and this one for this one, and this, like, it doesn't, like, I can't keep up with something like that. I always end up like quitting all of them or super hyper focusing on one of them. And this year, thank God, instead of me quitting all of them like I've typically done in the past couple of years, I've super hyper focused on one, and it's to buy a house by the end of the year. So that's what I'm super hyper focused on. So it's like, what didn't work, I would say right now, is goal tracking. I would say like that. Reflections, like if you have like a section in your planner where it's like you reflect on the month, or you reflect on the quarter, or you reflect on the year, do those things work for you? Because here's the thing, we can reflect all we want, but unless we apply the things that we learn in our reflection into the next time period, whether it be the next month, the next week, the next quarter, the next year, like, it really don't mean shit, does it? So it's like, so I do have reflections. Like, I don't think I started them until later. Like, when did I start reflections? Did I start them in April? Because I don't think I did them in March. Let's see. In March, did I do reflections? I did a quarter one reflection. Yeah, I did. I think I started a quarter one reflection, and then I decided to move on to a monthly reflection. Did I do that in April? Hot Mess Express, yes. And then I did like basic 3 reflections, nothing super deep. And I think eventually I end up with something a bit like this. So then this is pretty much what I go with now. Like, I have 3 things I'm grateful for, a monthly rating, accomplishments, what went well, what to improve. And then my quarterly reflections are a bit more in depth. So I'll have like what my biggest win is, what is currently working in my life, something that's not currently working, what I learned this quarter, what improvements do I need to make next quarter, I am most grateful for right now, whatever that is, habits I want to nurture in the next quarter, area I want to focus on next quarter. So I find that I do these reflections, right? I do them, but I don't really go back to them to see what I can apply. Like in this case, what can I apply to quarter 3 based off the results of my reflections? Like things I want, like habits I want to nurture. Like, I don't go back and be like, okay, these are the things I want to do in the next quarter. How do I implement them to, you know, apply them into my life and find ways to use my planner to help me stay on track, right? So I would say goal tracking in it. So I want less of, it's like I want more reflection, right? But I want less of me ignoring the reflection, me ignoring the improvements I say I want to make. So how would I word that? It's like, I want more reflection, but I want less of me, like, not following through with my reflections. Not following through. So more reflection, less of not following through with the wanted improvements I mention in my reflections. Like nobody's forcing me to write these things in these books. It's me, and I'm just, crapping out on myself. Another thing that consider like what worked or what didn't work or is my memory keeping in journaling. Like there are certain spots, I'm trying to decide which one it is. It's this one. There are certain spots in here where I journal. Like I showed you guys this. It's not great. It's not my best work, but it's what I do. So there are like journaling things there. There's memory keeping things happening here. There's, you know, this is June. There's photos in places, like things are happening in here. So it's a planner, yeah, but there's also memories in here. And it's great because I don't have to have a whole nother planner or a whole nother like scrapbook or anything. I love having it all in the same place. So memory keeping and journaling definitely work. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like what I want more of, I just want more flexibility. Like I like how flexible this is. And what didn't work? Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. Future planning inside of my planner is not a great thing. Like I find that for future planning, my calendar app on my phone is perfectly fine. Like future planning in paper form is not my thing. Like I like using my phone because it's quick. If I'm at the doctor's office and I have to make an appointment, like my phone's already out. I just do it right there. Bing, bing, bong. Has an alarm. It's set. Like, you know, it's there. Now, when it comes to my paper planning, like I will transfer over certain appointments and things to my calendar for that month. But since I typically do my layouts 1 month at a time, like there's no point. Like, as you can tell, like I don't make it a point to do a future log at all. Like there's no future log ever. That's not a future log. That's a goal thing. Like ever. So it's like, because all my future appointments go through my phone first. So there's that. Now it's important for me to, first of all, find this page again because I just lost it. But it's important, like when you do this process, this migration process, you kind of do it without judgment. You try and look at it in a neutral zone. Like you are Switzerland in your own mind. Because you don't want to be biased about it. You want to be as brutal and honest with yourself about your planner process and what you want to do and how it's been working for you in 2022. Because if you do this process, then you can kind of realize like why you switching up planners like 4 or 5 times in a year. Now, if it's because you like to try new things and you don't care and you got that money, then you do you, boo-boo. But if it's because you're frustrated that you can't find a system that's working for you, then it's really important to sit back and reflect, I know, on what you need and why you need that. So that way you can find something that fits those parameters, right? Like, that's all I'm saying. That's it. So now we get to the fun part, which is the part that everybody enjoys. It's the spread review, right? So let's see. So it's the spread review. This is how we're gonna go about this. We're gonna do the what worked, what didn't work for this one, right? So what worked and didn't work. But we're also, in an addendum to what didn't work, we're also going to have a improve section. Okay, because if it works, yes, then you know you migrated. If it doesn't work, you can figure out it, you can think about it like, if something didn't work, can you improve on it? Yes, then improve on it. If not, trash it. So seriously, you have to think about, what do you need what do you need to track, and how are you going to go about doing that. So that's how we're going to look at this. There's more. Don't quote me. So what worked, what didn't work, what you can improve, what you need, and I'm going to try and see if I can get this here. What you want. Maybe it's a little janky, but it's fine. Need and want should be up there. Improve should be down here. It's fine. We got this. We got this. Okay. Yes. So so when it comes to the spread review, we're gonna think about collections, spreads, and also their placement and where I've placed them in my planners. So let's look. Thank God I repeat my layouts pretty much all the time. So let's look. So here I've had several different monthly spreads, right? So I've had this one, and I think this is the same type of spread that I have for February. March is when I introduced this spread, which I also used in April. See, so right now already, so we're from January to April, I've had 2 different types of monthly spreads, right? So like I just had here, I have the monthly overview here, and then I just have a log. That's all it is. I guess that's bullet journal style, whatever. It's just a monthly log. Here, I drew out a full calendar because I do find that I like the space in writing the events inside of the space so I can see it better. And then in May, I think this was a Still Your Spread. I'm pretty sure it was. I switched it up. So I have the whole calendar here, and I still have my goals, but then I have this long monthly log over here with the tasks instead of, like I have in April, I have the calendar and my goals here, but then, oh, I actually don't have monthly tasks on this one, so that's good. So yeah, so this is a completely different setup. So May and June, I'm pretty sure this is the setup I chose. Yep. July, I think, was kind of a crapshoot, but we went back to this again. So for May and June, it looked like this. And then we went back to my tried and true calendar here. And I'm pretty sure that's what you look like for August and September. Do we really want to look at September? Because it's bad. September is like the epitome of minimal effort. But I'm pretty sure that's what my monthly looked like for October as well. Well, not really. No, in October I switched it up a little bit. And here I have the memories on the side. So, and then November, again, it's a different monthly. I think this was a Still the Spread too. If they are, all my Still the Spreads that I mentioned, like I'll just link them above. But yeah, this is a little different as well. And it has the log at the bottom. So what worked? Like out of all my monthlies, what worked? I found like they all worked in their own special way, but I mean, it's kind of obvious that I have a love affair for this full calendar type deal. So what worked? A full calendar monthly. A full calendar monthly works. Like that's just it. Like on lazy months, a log will do. I will say probably out of all my 2022 months, May is my favorite. It is also the one that I put the absolute most work in. So that's probably why it's my favorite as well, because it shows. But this was a lot of work. And I do like a monthly log. It's fine. I just like to see my appointments on the days that they're happening. I just like that better than the log because I don't have to look in 2 different places, whereas here I'm like looking like it's on the 11th, this is what to do. Like, so yeah, full calendar monthly worked. What didn't work, I don't know. So I would say, okay, so what didn't work, I would say the monthly log. Because it requires me to like look in too many different places, or at least the monthly log on a different page. God, this is so messy. But that's what notes really look like, because my handwriting is not the best. So that's one. So when I flip the page, we're going to talk about, see, we already talked about this little goal tending list setup. Like, it didn't work, but it also did not work. So maybe it's something that I can improve upon. So we'll just write improve ? Because I'm not really sure if that's going to be something I'm going to use in the next quarter. Because right now I'm currently reading the 12-week year. So if this is something that I can apply to that, then fine. But ? I don't know. Memories worked. I love keeping memories in my book. It's just a problem of me trying to remember sometimes nothing really spectacular happens. So it's kind of like bleh. But memories, for the most part, worked. Like memories and journaling. I'll put that here too, because that worked. I guess I should write spread review up here, huh? It worked. And then we have like all my weekly spreads. Lord, there's so many weekly spreads, and for that I apologize. Like, there's really hard. Like, okay, so let's get into this deep, intense thing. For me, I loved it. Like, it's so busy. I did love these little weekly habit trackers, so I'm just gonna put that on the habit tracker post-it. Or sticky note, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. This is actually a post-it, so I can say it's a post-it. So the habit tracker sticky note definitely worked. This intense weekly, like, Lord. So having a weekly overview works. Did the Alistair method work? I mean, I think it gets to a point where, I mean, I can take or leave the Alistair method. Like, I'm not gonna say it didn't work, but I also am not gonna sit there and be like, I need it, I want it, do I want to improve on it? I can take it or leave it. Having different sections for different things, like tracking my meals, things to remember. I think books and song of the week kind of falls into journaling for me, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But I did have divisions for like certain sections in like my weekly overviews for the longest time. So this is February, and I had like the weekly overview, which worked. And then monthly, I had to do dinner, errands, waiting on, cleaning, like it was whatever I needed to be for that week. Let's see if I can find another one. This one didn't even have one, but yeah, like, did that work for me? Yes, for a very long time, it worked for me. I'm trying to figure out why I stopped that. But yeah, like it works. So, weekly with sections. It works. Moving on, my dailies. So let's review. What is it? 2 days on one page definitely works. That seems to be my go-to. In horizontal or vertical form, it doesn't seem to matter. 2 days on one page seems to be where I fall back. I think this goes all the way back to December. Like, it's 2 days on one page dailies. That seems to be, that works for me. Let's see. And then in May, I think I just started and stopped wherever, but it still ended up kind of 2 days on one page. I guess that's just how my brain works. 2 days on one page, no matter what. And in June, I think I went with a horizontal plan, 2 days on one page, like forever and ever. July is when we came across issues. What didn't work? Whatever the fuck this is. That's what I'm gonna put. Whatever the F that weekly is in January. Or July. We've established it didn't work. It like July is kind of this. It's kind of the month I don't want to remember. It's like, yeah, I don't even. And then I got back to doing what I wanted, like what I usually do. For some reason, I just forgot myself for a second, and then I got back to doing how I really want to do things. And this is what happens. Again, 2 days on one page for a daily with cute little deco things. I don't know. It's like I wanted to try and do a minimal, but I sucked at it. And then it's like, fuck that. I'm going to do what I want. And I kind of redeemed myself. What didn't work? Financially, like combining putting my financials in my Bujo, that definitely didn't work. Like, I like them completely separate. Never the both shall meet. Maybe expense tracking, but not the rest of the stuff. Like, but then I'd still have to transfer the expenses to like my regular budget planner. But yeah, like, but not financials in my budget. Like that was, I was not a fan. You know what I should put over here? What I want more of? I want more photos. Or like mood boards or whatever, because that's just pretty. Like, I just want more of that in my planner. Yep, see, we got back to the Alistair method in my sections, but I'm not really sure if and then journaling, I'm not sure if I want to do the Alistair again. It may come back. I don't know. But again, as you can see, like 2 days on one page. So that seems to be my go-to. What I want more of is quotes. I do love quotes. So my reflection. Did my reflection work? I feel like if I had paid attention to it, it would have worked. Do I want to improve on it? I'm going to put it's on the improve list, reflection pages. Like, that's on the improved list because I think I can do a little bit better than that. Like, I feel like maybe it should be a little deeper. Well, like, I'm just flipping all through September. This is another month I just want to forget. Because why? All right, so let's talk about collections, because there are some collections, and the rest of it's just notes, to be honest. So let's start with do I even have collections in this one? Yes, I do. So do I have collections in you? I don't think I started collections until April. Oh no, I did. I started it here. Okay, so it's notes. So one collections are my reads. It's where I track what books I've read for each month. So we're gonna keep that. So my monthly reads. And I'm hoping at the end of the year, the goal is that at the end of the year, I'm supposed to have like a best read of 2022. And I'm doing it like a little NBA bracket, like a little March Madness bracket to do the book of the year. And then I'll have a whole page dedicated to whatever book I voted was the best of the year. That's the whole point of this. So my monthly reads, that definitely goes into the next one. I don't think I have anything important. The rest of this is just notes, yeah? Yeah, the rest of that's just notes. It's not even collection. So that's the first one. Let's see the second one. Notes. Okay, this is the one where I tried to go on all out. Like, I had an inbox section, and I don't need that. So, like, inbox. I don't need an inbox. TBR, that is coming. Oh no, I'm running out of space. A TBR, so that means to be read. So this is where I place like upcoming books that are coming out by authors that I like. So yeah, so here we go. April reads, June reads. Here I had a spring cleaning collection list. I think that would have been very helpful if I had actually stayed on. Then I had summer projects, fall cozy. So I can tell you that obviously this did not work. And I think one was like a winter refresh. So those didn't work. So here I have a collection for the quarter 3 setup. So the next month setup, that can stay. So I ran out of space. Bummer. Okay. So we're just gonna do quarterly setup something. So is it a collection or is it a list? But that was important. And it's like self-care, one for my kid. Those didn't work. Place to try different spreads. That's a good one. These are notes. And then, oh yeah, that's when I tried to try the Hobonichi guys, my Stalogy. Ah, this stays. So during quarter 3, I did a capture session with you guys, or quarter 2 for quarter 3. I did a capture session for you guys using the using a bit of the getting things done method to help plan out my overall quarter 3. I think this was a video as well. I'll try and link it up at the top. I did like this. I did not do this for quarter 4. I think it's because I just didn't have the time, because I work in retail and October, November, December, busiest months of the year for us. So I didn't have the time to do it for quarter 4, but I did enjoy doing it for quarter 3. I don't think this is necessarily a need, but it's really nice to see like the major dates and holidays and events and things for the next 3 months to help plan my goals and align everything and have a priority to-do list. Like this is actually, I think this is more of a want. So this is more of a want, a quarterly capture session. I feel like that's what that is. That's more of a want. And then I think the rest is just, I want space to try out new layouts. So that's a want. All right, let's see what July through September, the quarter of blah. So I still have my TBR, my monthly reads. That's what all that is. A wish list, that doesn't work. Like it just doesn't. Wish list collection, that doesn't help at all. See, I had everything set up for my quarter 4 setup, like my capture and everything. I just did not do it. And then here, I think I tried to have something for YouTube. And then the rest of it is just mental cash, to be honest. Well, those are blank pages, but the rest of this is mental cash. There isn't anything. Oh, I was thinking about things I want in my system. Yeah, it's just mental cash. So there's nothing really in there, and there really isn't anything in here. Because, oh, I guess there is a need. I think I'm gonna have to have a place for, what is it? Expense tracking. Oh, that wind is so strong. And then I think I have a post-it here in my really, really crappy handwriting of things that I was thinking about. So things I think that I need or want. I feel like I need an index for my notes section. To have some order to this chaos. I saw this on the Foxy Corn's channel a couple of days ago. I don't know, like I fell down the YouTube rabbit hole, and she had this really dope meal calendar in her book where she used the page flags, the little like these little guys, of various colors, and she just had like this big calendar and she would move them around. Like, I think that that would be cool. I think that's a want though. So I think that would be cool. What did I say? So I'm thinking about, since I am trying to digitally do my budget planner, there are some things that I feel like I need on paper, and one of them is a bill tracker. So I think I'm gonna have, I know I just said like finances, but I'm talking about like, I can't spell and talk at the same time, but I'm talking about like planning out like my whole paycheck on in there. Like, that didn't work very well. So bill tracker, tracking sinking funds, and do I want to do a 100 envelope challenge like I did this year? I'm not sure. I think I do need a when did I last spread. Like, when did I last change the oil in my car? When did I last clean the washing machine? And for some reason, it's like car stuff. I don't even know what I meant by that. Yearly overview. I don't even know what that means. I need to like write better notes to myself, because it's like yearly overview of what? Because I'm not doing a future log. What do you mean yearly overview? Past Novia, you're the worst. But then it's like, okay, finance, bill tracker, sinking funds, 100 envelope challenge. I mean, maybe. But I think what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna print it off, and if I do it, I'll just stick it back here. Like, that's not something I want to draw or write out. I'm not about that life. I'm tired. like on the go expenses, which is what I have here. When did I last? The meals calendar is a want. Index for notes, which I put. I don't even know what I meant by yearly overview. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to myself, because I don't understand what you mean. But I'm gonna put this back over here, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's me. Like, I pretty much reviewed all my spreads. You know what I actually liked? Having my memories with my calendar instead of having it. I should write that down. Memories with calendar. Because I visit my calendar all the time, like almost every single day. So it would make sense to have my memories there instead of having it on a completely separate page like this. So I like that. I mean, this is ugly as hell. Like, all of this is ugly as hell, but I like that. That's chef's kiss. What do I need for the future? Is there anything on here that I need? Not really. I would say I would need date stickers if we're being honest, because I get tired of writing days down. So if I can have some date stickers, that'd be great. But that's neither here nor there. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, so at least now when I do this, I know why I like doing the technique, like doing this planning technique. It's freedom and flexibility. I know what overall worked, and that's, you know, it could be deco. I can have deco, or I can have minimalism. I'm not restricted to either. Memory keeping and journaling worked inside of there. I found that goal tracking really didn't. And future planning and my bullet journal does not either. I want more reflection. I want to keep my flexibility. I want more photos in here, mood boards, quotes, less of. I want less of not following through with the improvements that I mentioned in my reflections. I want less, there's a lot of things I said I didn't want, didn't I? And I already forgot it. I just brain farted all over the place. I can tell you what definitely didn't work. This Kanban board, like, that was trash. Less of no Kanban boards. How about that? How about them apples? How about we don't do that at all, because it's the worst. Like, bleh. I hate it. So yeah, like more of doing what I want, less of doing what social media, like more doing what I want. Sorry that it's gotten dark. It's about the thunderstorm. Crap. Less of being influenced by social media. It's really easy to get caught in them Instagram feeds and looking at how beautiful somebody else's stuff is and looking at all the cool stationery that they use, and you feeling lackluster because you can't afford like a $300 fountain pen. Fuck that noise. You do you, boo-boo. Your your notebook is just as valid. And then when reviewing my spreads, like this helps me know like what I want and what I don't want when it comes to coming up with spreads that I'm actually going to use and not just let it die by the wayside. I got a couple new ones that I figured out that I needed, and I have like 2 that I can improve on. So the tending lists or the reflection pages, and then there's some of them that I want, but I think that's the quarterly capture session I want, but I think that's also gonna be on the improved list. I want space to try new layouts, which I should have, because typically I have a whole bunch of space in the back for notes. The meal calendar, we'll see about that. Don't quote me. And the 100 envelope challenge, we'll see about that one too. But if I do, it will just literally be a printout, and I'll probably like stick it somewhere, because I just like in the back, because I'm not drawing all that out. No, thank you. All right, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I tried to stay on task. I did ramble a bit, and for that, my apologies. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them down below. Again, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please go ahead and click that subscribe button right there. I am so close to 1,000. I've been on YouTube for like 5 years off and on, and I would really love it if I could make it to 1,000. That would be so great. Also, don't forget to click the bell ringer next to it so you can be notified when I post a new video. And also, please, everyone, click the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, bye.